Today I'm going to show you how to enjoy cherry season all year long with 3 easy preservation methods, and the best part is you really don't need that much special equipment. The only thing you probably can't do without is a cherry pitter. I know that your time is precious, so feel free to skip around in the chapters for the method that you want, but don't miss some ideas at the very end for what to do with all those pits. Freezing cherries is one of my favorites because it is so fast and it also gives you the most options later on. From frozen, you can obviously use them in smoothies or baked desserts, but you can also can or dehydrate them from frozen as well if that works better for your schedule. Simply wash and destem the cherries, then pit and freeze them in a single layer for 4 to 24 hours. Then transfer to a freezer bag or some other airtight container and you're done. One quick side note, I have tried the multi-cherry pitters and I don't know if it's just me, but these don't really save me time. I can see it being helpful though if the repetitive motion causes pain, but I just put on a good audiobook and get through it. Dehydrating is another one of my favorites because it really concentrates that cherry flavor and there are so many great uses for dried cherries. Hit the cherries and cut them in half, then dehydrate them at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 24 hours. At the end, they should be completely dry to the touch and kind of leathery and bendable, but not sticky at all. The timing will be a little different for everybody depending on the size of your cherries and your humidity. The next step is to condition the cherries so they don't mold in storage, and for that you want to put them in an airtight container for a week and just shake them every day. If you see any condensation in the jar during that time, go ahead and put them back in the dehydrator for a couple hours, and then once they are conditioned, store them in any airtight container in a dark, cool place. If you don't have a dehydrator but you do have a convection oven or an air fryer, a lot of those come with dehydrator settings, so check there first. But if not, you can set your oven to the lowest temperature and prop it open with a wooden spoon or something like that, and I would put the cherries on some kind of rack where air can circulate all around, and then you just want to watch these like a hawk because it can go from dehydrated to burned and overly caramelized really fast. There are a lot of options when it comes to canning cherries, but the simplest, fastest way that keeps the eating quality good for the longest, in my opinion, is to can whole cherries in a very light sugar syrup, and I like to leave the pits in, and I'll explain why in a little bit. I'm following the National Center for Home Food Preservation's guidelines, and you can find a link to that in the description, but you can do the same exact recipe with the pits removed, and you could choose water, fruit juice, or a simple syrup. I go with a very light simple syrup that's about 10% sugar to water ratio because that keeps the color and flavor good for the longest without making it too sweet. Red foods in particular can tend to turn brown over time if there is no sugar in there as a preservative. The pits contain a compound called amygdalin that can release cyanide if they are crushed or digested, but if they're left whole in the jars with these cherries, very trace amounts of that amygdalin is going to offer this really light almond flavor that adds kind of a depth and complexity that you can't get in commercially canned cherries. I really like it, but of course, it's up to your preference and when you want to do the work of pitting them. I'm using WEC jars today, but no matter what you're using, you want to clean and inspect your jars and lids for any cracks, chips, or imperfections. Then put your jars in the canner and let it gently heat up until it's barely simmering but not boiling while you prep your ingredients. I also add a splash of vinegar to prevent hard water buildup. You aren't trying to sterilize the jars here, everything just needs to be warm to prevent temperature shocks to the glass. If you don't have a water bath canner, you can use any large pot as long as there's enough room at the bottom for some kind of rack to lift the jars up off of the very bottom of the pot, and enough room for the water to cover the jars by about an inch. And you can use extra canning rings to create a little rack. You'll need about 2.5 pounds of cherries per quart jar, so if you're using pints, just do a little math to figure out how many jars you need. Then remove the stems and wash your cherries and poke a hole in the bottom of each cherry with a clean needle to prevent the fruit from splitting as you cook it. Next, you'll prep your syrup, and I like to have a little extra syrup left over if necessary, so I'm doing 5 cups of water and a 1/2 cup of sugar. Now you can choose between raw pack and hot pack, and I have a deep dive video going into the differences between the two soon. But today I'm choosing hot pack primarily because it's going to prevent liquid loss in the jars because the cherries aren't going to expand so much when they heat up if they've already been cooked. Once the sugar is dissolved and your syrup is boiling, take it off the heat, add your cherries, and then bring them back up to a boil. Then one at a time, remove the hot jars from your canner and fill them with the hot liquid and cherries, leaving a 1/2 inch of headspace at the top. Then wipe down the rim with water or vinegar and add your lid. If you're using regular jars and lids, only screw the ring on until it's fingertip tight. Once all the jars are back in the canner, turn the heat up until it's fully boiling and then set the timer on your processing time. After the time is up, turn off the heat and let the jars just sit for 10 minutes. If you remove them right away, the liquid in the jar can get sucked out due to the fast temperature drop. When you do remove them, try your best to keep the jars upright rather than tilting them to remove water that's going to be on the top. If you're canning with regular jars, just don't touch that seal. You want that to pop down naturally without any help from you, and then leave them on the counter to cool overnight and test the seal by lifting the jar just by the lid and giving it a little shake. If you have a seal fail, it's no big deal. It happens to everybody, but you have the option to either use that up first, just put it in your fridge, or you can reprocess within 24 hours. Don't forget to label and date your jar and store it in a cool, dark place. Regardless of what method you use, at some point you're gonna find yourself with a lot of cherry pits. And rather than just throwing them away, I like to make this cherry pit syrup. For each cup of cherry pits, add a 1/2 cup of sugar and stir well. Stir it occasionally throughout the day for up to 24 hours and then strain out the syrup and store it in the fridge for up to a month, and you can use this for delicious cocktails, mocktails, sodas, on pancakes, whatever you want. You can do that same exact process with vinegar if you want to use it in more savory applications. Just let it steep for about 4 weeks before you strain it out. And if you love a good zero waste DIY project like I do, you can wash and dry the pits and use them to make microwavable heating pads as well. Let me know which method you're using in the comments and if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.